Give a little love, a little squeeze and a little kiss. Give a little hug, I want some more of this. Take a little time.
Today, the music world is paying tribute to one half of country music's most iconic duos, one of the most iconic duos in that field, in that genre. Naomi Judd has died at the age of 76. Her family harmonies with her daughter Winona turned them into Grammy-winning country stars, and their group, the Judds, is being inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame this weekend. For more on this, let's go to music commentator Eric Alper. Eric, you know, so much reaction has been coming out over Naomi's passing, especially given the timing of her passing as well. What was your reaction?
Yeah, I think of shock. You know, it wasn't even 2 weeks ago that the Judds announced their final reunion tour.
That's right.
That was supposed to be heading into America, and tonight they were due to be inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. In fact, you know, they were a little bit on the rise in terms of popularity in the last year or two, and not necessarily always coming from the country music world. There are certainly a lot of solo female performers in the pop world that grew up listening to the Judds' music, and having somebody like Naomi, who was, you know, this mother who came from a classic country song, when you think about it, married young, had children young, got divorced, ended up on welfare, worked in, you know, in the nursing medical community while, you know, trying to get the musical career off the ground. I think that that's a lot of people can relate to, just that struggle of believing in yourself and believing in your own children. And then finally having success that they never really let go when it, you know, between the years of like 1983 and 2000, they were just unstoppable.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about that success, because the Judds were supposed to be inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. I believe it was today. It's happening today. So there was so much to celebrate. There is still so much to celebrate in Naomi's career.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, that's, I think, that shock of it is that you don't expect tour plans to go awry like this. You don't expect people to pass away when things are happening. You know, it's almost like that line that, unfortunately, you know, that God laughs when you make plans, because, you know, tomorrow is never promised to anybody. But, you know, it's a really good reminder to go see these artists when they are around, because you never know what's going to happen, even and despite the fact that that Naomi had a lot of health issues. She was certainly not shy about talking about her mental health issues that she had. There were times, she said, that she wrote in her book that she didn't get out of bed for 3 weeks, that she was really struggling with depression. She was struggling with having those issues. And so it was great to see somewhat of a turning corner of them being able to go out on tour again and at least perform on television.
Right, and the family saying not much more beyond the fact that they've said she passed away due to mental illness, health issues. So they are currently requesting their privacy and time to grieve. We do want to mention, you know, 5 Grammys for the Judds, 9 Country Music Association Awards, 7 from the Academy of Country Music. She also performed with Winona at the 1994 Super Bowl halftime show. So definitely a lot to remember in this career, but how do you think she's going to be remembered?
I think she's going to be remembered as one of the nicest, kindest mothers and women in music history. I mean, when you talk about the mother-daughter duo, there's nobody that even comes close when it comes to country music or even really in music in general. So I think that she's going to be recognized as a businesswoman, as a business person, as somebody who knew the industry very, very well after learning it from really nothing, and really picking those really great songs that we know and love. You know, 14 #1 hits, Grammy Awards consecutive, some like 5 or 6. So I think she's going to be remembered as legendary, and rightfully so.
It's such a heartbreaking loss to the music world. Eric Alper, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your thoughts.
Thank you for having me. We'll talk soon.
For sure. All right. And as we go to break, we'll let you listen to some of the Judds in this performance as we remember Naomi Judd, who has passed away at the age of 76.
Take a little time.